When I was a kid, all I wanted to do was perform magic. I didn't want to do it for the fame or fortune. I wanted to simply entertain. Nothing made me happier than seeing smile after smile with my acts. However, it was time to get a job that could foot the bill. So, I went with my second passion as a career, microbiology. I kept my obsession with my theories of thousands of different worlds a secret, as I didn't want to seem crazy in front of my peers. I still loved magic, but when you work with grown adults that don't tend to share the same joy as you do, admittedly, it can be a bit discouraging. I knew it was just a hobby of mine, but it hurt to realize that I would be made fun of for simply loving something that was only for kids. Believe it or not, I didn't believe in actual magic. It killed me that people were okay pretending to be wizards or made-up creatures, but if I turn a wand into a bouquet of flowers, then I'm the childish one. I spent a few weeks cleaning my house when I found all my beloved magic tricks. From card tricks to disappearing, it was all there in one big box in my closet. I finally decided that it was time to get rid of it and loaded it up into my car. I was going to load the last of my things to get rid of when I accidentally saw her. Mona. I loved Mona, and I had won her over by being myself. However, as I was going through high school, she cheated on me because she believed we had grown distant. Idiotically, I tried to make it work, but Mona wouldn't budge. She was now walking across the street with her boyfriend and pregnant as well. She didn't even notice me as I got into the car and drove away, and that hurt even more. Finally, I was at the local donation center and I was ready to get rid of all my old stuff when someone randomly stopped me. "Sorry to bother you, but I couldn't help but notice that you really loved magic." He said it like he knew something that only my close friends and Mona would have known. "I'm sorry, but how do you know me?" "You dropped this," he said as he gave me my deck of cards. I immediately looked into the box and then saw that somehow these were my actual magic cards. I was stunned, but logic took over and ruined it by realizing that he must have taken it out of one of my boxes while I was cleaning out the house. "I'm guessing you really don't believe in magic anymore," he said confidently. "What do you want? No one cares about magic these days unless it's on live TV and the person is rich." As I said this, the stranger smirked and said, "Listen, I wasn't meaning to be offensive. I've been in your shoes before, and I believe you deserve a chance to find your way in the world. Judging by how you're dressed, you're a successful man, but you sure as sugar don't look like it." "What, are you a therapist now?" I said bitterly. No, just a friend who's seen things that can't really be explained. Here," he said, giving me his card. It looked freshly printed. "Trust me, it's completely free. I'll even bet money that you'll learn more than you wanted. Let's say 200 easy." "Are you serious?" I looked at him curiously. "Absolutely serious. $200 and no strings attached, just to see if you learn a lesson without magic." I'm not sure if it was the little bit of pride that I had that took over, or the fact that I truly wanted to see how full of shit this guy was, but I accepted the deal. "Good. Right this way," he said as he gestured for me to follow. I locked my car and turned to follow him. However, the very second that I did, I was already in a dimly lit shop. It looked like a retro gaming shop, but for hobbies and more books than I had ever read in my life. "How?" was the only word that I could muster as I was stunned by everything I saw. Imagine a library where the books consistently organized themselves, and I mean that literally. Books were being restored before my very eyes by seemingly no one. I felt like it had to be a dream. Maybe if it was a dream, then I could pretend that I never saw Mona again. Amazing, isn't it? My brothers and I collected and read every book that you see before you. All we had were these books and each other. Where are they now? Well, Aaron is busy making sure that magic isn't being abused in different timelines, and Terry is just enjoying his powers. You expect me to believe any of this? I said, looking at the mysteriously well-dressed man. With time, but for now, I do believe you have something that you want to get rid of. A memory, perhaps? How would you know that? You're not hard to read, Darren. So, what are you willing to pay to forget about her? I naturally freaked out. Okay, this isn't funny. Who the hell are you? The floor beneath us moved upward without making a sound. While I do love humor, I'm honestly being very serious. As for who am I, well, can't you see the resemblance? It was then that my eyes widened as I realized that I was looking at someone who looked like me but different clothing. I don't have brothers. I'm an only child. Your timeline doesn't have Aaron and Terry because your parents split up after your 4th birthday, whereas mine work things out, he said as he began working on a clock. If that's true, why do they only work things out in your timeline? I said as I glared at him. Hell if I know. Magic, I guess. They did thank me for improving my magic over the years. So, because I didn't take magic seriously in my timeline? See, you're not as clueless as you think. Now, about forgetting Mona, he said as he wiped the sweat off his forehead. Did you lose Mona too? Not exactly. Look, I would love to talk your ear off of the polar opposite effects, but we don't have time for that. So, you can either suffer or be free of her. I made my decision, one that I would regret, as he revealed an odd portrait of Mona and whispered, "Thank you." Before I knew it, my head hurt and I landed on my ass in front of some woman that I hadn't remembered. Darren, are you okay? Do I know you? Before she could respond, the me of a different timeline lied to her until she was his again. I watched her get into his car as he looked at me evilly and said, "Sorry, Darren, but it's for your own good." After that, I was erased.